It's time for Dirt Daily. I'm moving right along on the rear suspension of Newb Sock. I've already got the links on, the axle's hanging here. I have multiple calipers because I'm going to disconnect this caliper and hook it up to the one on the new axle. One next step I want to do is a Rock Jock upper anti-rock sway bar for the rear, which is very similar to the one in the front, only in the front it had a bracket that bolts on. The rear has these bushings that you have to hammer into this kind of oblong shaped cross member. You're going to want to clean that cross member out good with like a die grinder. Make sure the edge is kind of chamfer free so that it just knocks in there, and even then it's still going to take some abuse. Next, you're going to want to grease up your sway bar and slide this through here and all the way through the other side. This step can be a little tricky. Make sure you have enough grease on the end of the sway bar, but also on some grease in the end of these bushings on both sides. Once it's greased up, you're going to get this bar and press it in through the bushing. You're probably going to need to hit the end of the bar with a mallet. Basically, the way this bar works, it's one diameter and then it tapers up at the ends. So you really have to just get it through the taper. You don't have to hammer it the whole way through, but then at the other end, you'll have to line it and taper it and hammer it up through the last little bit. Again, I'm using a rubber mallet, dead blow. There it goes. And it'll slide through. When you get to the other end, let's go look at the other end and make sure that it's coming through. Oh yeah, looks good. Come back here, you're gonna want about, I think it's 3/4 of an inch sticking out. Basically the same length sticking out on both ends. Also expect a giant glob of grease to fall out. That looks pretty good on this side. Pretty good on this side. Next, you're going to install the arms. There's an arm for both sides. You basically want them to be an identical angle from side to side. So what I'll probably do, and then you put this little tiny washer and Allen head bolt in there. Oh, the other thing is this arm, once you get it in there, you're going to tighten this nut that'll crimp it. You can put it on with that nut, that bolt through there, because it doesn't run through the splines. So just get that on there, tight with the end. Put this aluminum washer and the little Allen head bolt in there and tighten it up. Let's see. This looks to be a 3/16 Allen wrench. I'm going to tighten that up first, and then because it feels like this arm is sticking out a little bit, I'm going to tap it. And then I'm going to swing this straight down. So now I know that if the other arm is straight down, they're both lined up. We'll grab the arm for the other side, the washer. We'll take that over there and install that one. Once both arms are installed, you want to roll them up to level, and then you're going to install the drop links. The drop links what I do is I just start by bottoming out both heim joints so it's as short as it can possibly be. Remember, one end is left-hand thread, one end is right-hand thread. It's made that way so that you can then adjust it on the vehicle without having to take it off and lengthen it. There's also a left and right-hand thread jam nut. I am putting both left-hand threads down at the axle. The arm has 2 holes. I'm going to go with the outer hole for now and put this in there. Now, before I install this end on the axle, I want to get the springs on and get it to a ride height, and I'm working out which springs I'm using. So that's kind of it for today. This arm will basically be level at the middle of suspension travel. What that means is that if the axle can go up 4 inches and down 4 inches, it will ride right there in the middle. If the axle is designed so that you have 2 inches of up travel and 6 inches of down travel, it won't be level. It'll be level when it's halfway in between. So just because the arms are not level at ride height is only important if ride height is right in the middle of your suspension travel. I'm going to put these on, put a nut on each of these, and we will come back to this once we get the suspension on the ground. I'm going to throw that nut on the ground and go look for it. There it is.